Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jump Up Supercast, the only podcast optimized for the next generation. I'm your host, Muzzy, and joining me today is Brandon.
Next gen, baby!
And Ills.
Don't put your PS5 in rust mode.
Oh?
Yeah, apparently there are some reports that that's not good for you.
Interesting.
Well, that's the one. I saw a couple of things.
Do you know why?
True?
Apparently it bricks your console for, like, if you're playing, like, Miles Morales or something like that. I was just reading it, like, a second ago. And
yeah.
apparently there are some reports of that happening, so be careful.
Interesting. Well, there's a lot of reports. Let's just get into it. So, next generation consoles just launched. We are recording this on Friday, November 13th. Yesterday, the PlayStation 5 came out. 2 days before that, the Xbox Series X came out. We all have at least one next-gen console, I believe. The three of us.
Yes.
So we can kind of talk about that. On the note of things going wrong, there's been a lot of reports on social media about both of these systems, about, consoles getting bricked or consoles getting smoke coming out of them or what have you. The smoke one in particular seems to be fake news. Someone blew a vape into their Xbox to make it look like it was smoke was coming out of the vent.
Yeah.
So, a lot of fake news, a lot of not fake news, to be fair, a lot of hey, people's systems are messing up. But at the same time, launch consoles just at the volume that these things are selling at, and just it being at launch, there will be faulty units, there will be, and even a couple of units going wrong is going to get so overblown on social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, just watch out for that, I guess. Watch out for social media. It's not can be misleading. But
will the Nintendo Switch be the best-selling console this month?
It will. I'm confident in saying that, actually. Because we just got word NPD, October 2020, Nintendo Switch had the second best sales for a console in October ever. The only one that was better was Wii in 2008. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And for reference, so I did about like 735K. I don't remember the exact number. The best up until this point for this console generation was the PS4, and it did like 370K or so. So
Thanks.
This is like double that number,
Well, I think I just read that the Switch was the best-selling console 23 months in a row.
Yeah,
So
23 months in a row in the United States.
Are they going to make it 2 years?
Yeah, it seems, because the thing is, it seems like all three consoles will just sell out this upcoming holiday season. PS5s have been selling out, Series X's, but even the Switch, it's doing crazy. But so the question is, who can manufacture the most? Who can get the most shipped out? And because the Switch is an older system, the answer is probably the Switch. Right. They've already ramped up production. So
Plus
the Switch
it's cheaper,
and it's cheaper, exactly. And it's just on fire this year. It really is, right? Like, Animal Crossing and what have you. But so the Switch is probably going to be the best-selling console and 23 months in a row in the United States is a record, by the way. No console has ever achieved 23 straight months of being on top. And who knows how long the streak will continue.
Awesome.
So, go Switch.
See, I had this crazy prediction like early on in the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Remember we having New Year? It was some sort of prediction.
It was 2018 at the beginning of the year. We did predictions.
Yeah, and I said that I was wrong technically. I guess I did it a year too early. Yeah. But I said that my crazy prediction was Switch would be the best-selling console the entire year for every month.
Every single month.
I was wrong for 2018.
But then ever since December 2018 up until now, since Smash Brothers came out, it's not been dethroned.
Yeah.
Which is, crazy. Crazy time for the Nintendo Switch. But crazy time for the other consoles, too. Let's talk about the consoles that actually launched. New consoles, right? Because the PS5 and Xbox Series X launched. Ills, you have a PS5. You want to tell me a little bit about it?
Sure. I mean, it's fucking massive. It's actually bigger than I thought it was gonna be. Like,
and you already thought it was gonna be big.
Yeah, it's fucking huge. Like, it's more than half the size of my TV. And like, I don't have a huge TV, but goddamn, it's fucking enormous. And yeah, I mean, beyond that, I mean, it looks good. I like the way it looks. Like, even though people seem to have a problem with that, whatever. But I do like the way it looks. I like the way the controller looks a whole lot. I played Astro's Playroom on it because I didn't buy any games for it, and I was really glad that it came like with that game pre-installed, so I could just pick up and play as soon as I got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Astro's Playroom is fucking fantastic. Like, Astro is a very good character. Like, I didn't realize this before because I know you and Saf played the VR game.
Yes.
Astrobot or
Astrobot Rescue Mission.
Yeah. And I mean, he's very charming. The worlds are like amazing. There are a shit ton of fucking references to other franchises, which I'm not going to spoil at all because that's like 50% of the fun of the game.
Yeah.
There's a shit ton of PlayStation history. It reminds me a whole lot of like Nintendo Land meets Smash Bros. With like how much historical, importance celebration they do.
Yeah, I saw some of that online and it looked really cool. I saw that there was the PlayStation mouse. It was in there and I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, they have all the PlayStation accessories, all the consoles from throughout the the history of the game. Plus they have like a mural that you collect the pieces to. It looks amazing, basically.
I hear it's just basically a love letter to PlayStation.
It really is. Yeah,
it's really cool.
Someone made the joke that it's a better PlayStation All-Stars than PlayStation All-Stars was.
Yeah, I can see that. It's obviously not a fighting game, but it's a 3D platformer. But it does really do a lot to celebrate like PlayStation. Like, it does well, like invoking the nostalgia and the history of the whole franchise of
the whole
consoles.
Platform. Yeah.
And beyond that, it plays really, really well. It just feels like a joy to control, especially with the DualSense. Like, you feel every motion, you hear like sounds from the controller, they match perfectly with the game. Like, the rumble is perfect, like, whatever the fuck they call it, HD rumble, haptic feedback, whatever. The triggers feel really good. Like, there are some specific suits that you put on at parts of each level where you use the controller in different ways. So you have to use the triggers to climb like a monkey, or you have to use the touchpad to roll like Super Monkey Ball.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very well done. Like, and there's actually some really charming music in one of the areas of the game, because like all the worlds are based on like the internal specs of the PS5, basically. So there's one world called the GPU Forest. And the song of the world is just like celebrating how good the GPU is. It's so fucking it's funny.
Interesting.
It's very funny.
Okay, all right. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, by all accounts, Astro's Playroom, and I'm glad to hear it from you, is that like it seems to be this game that really, I mean, like you said, just really celebrates the entire history of PlayStation. And we're celebrating. It's been how many years? 25 years since PlayStation started, right? Mm-hmm. And then, but then on top of that, I hear it's just such a great showpiece for the controller, right? Yeah, it has so many cool features. Like you said, it has the haptic feedback, and I want to feel. That's something that you really have to feel for yourself, right? So I really want to try it. And then the adaptive triggers, right? The way that like it seems like a great showpiece. I'm glad it's a good game. This was the game that really made me want the PS5 the most. Even though it's short, but
it is very short. Like, I collected everything in 3 hours. Yeah. So I mean, I enjoyed myself.
Sure. But the fact that it's packed in, right?
Yeah.
Pre-installed, is fantastic.
That's kind of what you want in that kind of thing. A little tech showpiece. And it's great when that type of thing is free, and it comes pre-installed. Like, that's really cool because like like Wii Sports came with the system. Like, that's like a tech showpiece.
Oh, that was a fantastic showpiece for the Wii Remote for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And like, with 1-2 Switch, it was a little disappointing that was a full $50 game that was basically a tech showpiece for what the Joy-Cons can do.
Yeah.
And so this is what you want to see. You want to see stuff like this, and it's really you're making me really looking forward to playing it because it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. It really reminded me a lot of Nintendo Land, because the different worlds and the way that it specifically showcases how everything the controller can do. So I hope, the rest of the games that come out for the system, really take advantage of all the features that the DualSense has.
I hope, on top of, showing us what the DualSense can do, I hope Astro's Playroom does a great job of showing, developers what they can do, you know what I mean? You can, take inspiration from this,
That's the thing you always hope from these things, that third-party developers especially decide, hey, I'm going to utilize them.
Yeah.
Because I think that gets lost a lot of times.
Oh, for sure. A lot of times, special features for a system only really get used in first-party games. Though, to be fair, I am very much looking forward to seeing how more first-party games will use it, right? And I think they will.
I'm sure Sony's going to do a great job at utilizing all the things on the controller. Yeah. And they did it with the PlayStation. You look at games, or the PlayStation 4, you look at games like Until Dawn, right? Until Dawn, they use every single thing on that fucking controller. But then not a lot of games did. But first party games are definitely, they're definitely going to utilize it. But I hope that third party, instead of just making straight ports to the Xbox and PlayStation, at least utilize it in a way.
Everything I've heard about the controller seems like it's legit game changing, and so man,
I'm not normally a person who cares that much about controllers, but I legitimately think this is one of the best controllers I've ever held. It feels amazing.
Yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
There you have it. There you have it, folks. And so that I hope other developers because I think the DualSense is one of the biggest upgrades going into this generation. It's one of the biggest changes that these consoles are offering, and so
it's one of the things that is really making me look forward to getting a PS5 the most, because I've always been just okay with PlayStation controllers. I've never found them to be super comfortable. Not uncomfortable either. They're just fine to me. I've always just been fine with PlayStation controllers, and I've always thought, Xbox is my favorite controller to hold, and this is more in the shape of that. And then all the extra features as well being added onto it. It just looks really nice, and it looks like it just looks like what I would want out of a PlayStation controller.
Yeah,
so, I'm excited about it.
I also really like the weight of it. It feels substantial. You know what I mean? When you're holding it feels good.
Because that's actually my biggest thing. Because I mentioned last week on the podcast I have a DualSense. I don't have a PlayStation yet. I'm getting that soon. And I'll talk about the experience of buying one soon. But I bought one. But I don't have one yet. But I have a DualSense, and so I haven't been able to test out the haptics or the adaptive triggers. But just the feel of the controller. I played a level of Crash Bandicoot 2 on my PC with the DualSense just to get a feel for it. I played a couple, so I was playing Crash for a little bit, and it really feels like. First of all, it feels premium. It feels because I feel like the DualShock 4 felt cheap, for lack of a better word.
Well, it definitely didn't feel like this.
Yeah,
there's something about the metal faceplates on the top of it. It makes it feel good.
It really does. It makes it feel like this really premium controller you're holding, and then just the general feel of it. It really does feel like this really nice middle ground between the DualShock controllers and the Xbox controllers. Where it does have more of the Xbox shape to it, right? But then it still has what you like about PlayStation. Some people prefer the sticks on bottom. I personally do, right? But so this to me, this is the best controller ever made already, even before seeing the extra features. So oh man, I cannot wait to play Astro. So you didn't get any other games, you said?
No, but I've been playing a PS4 game on my PS5.
Oh,
which strangely enough, I've been playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. I just got it, and strangely enough, it's been making my PS5 make a lot of noise. I don't know if it's the disk drive that does it? I don't know if it's just this game or if it's all PS4 games because I haven't tried any of the PS4 games yet.
Yeah.
Or if it's just the disc drive, but like it was getting really loud and I was like a little concerned. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I mean, that's very concerning to me because the whole reason the PS5 is so goddamn big is supposedly so it could be quiet, right? So
yeah,
it was not quiet. Believe me, I had to fucking turn up my TV to distract myself.
Fascinating.
Goddamn, but like it wasn't constant.
Yeah,
like it went away after a while, but then it like sometimes it just comes back, and like I'm like, what is going on here? I'm very confused.
Maybe it is the disc drive. I who knows? Who's to say?
Because no, like there was no noise with Astro's Playroom.
Yeah,
it was serene. Like I couldn't hear anything from the console.
Right.
But like just putting in a fucking PS4 game apparently just made it freak out.
Weird. Yeah, maybe it is the disc drive. I don't know. Who's to say?
It's disconcerting.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because I want to get physical games because they're cheaper. I mean, I'm someone who prefers digital, but now that games are so expensive, I'm like, I'm looking more at physical.
Yeah, I mean, that's
now,
why,
you know?
That's the main reason to get, because, you know, I agree with, you know, I'm almost on your side, Muzzy, where digital is just so much easier. But also, you can't, I can't give up discs because you want that option where you can just get sales on games, you know, physical copies of games for so much cheaper than digital sometimes.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose that option, you know.
Oh, so I guess this is obvious now. But so you ended up getting the disc version, then, Els, not the digital. Okay.
Yeah, I mean for the same reason Brandon just said.
Yeah.
This was my argument originally. Yeah, but I just want to keep that option open.
Yeah, I mean, the $100 extra you're spending, I feel like you can end up saving because you're finding games for cheaper. Faster,
absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, and you can borrow games from other people.
Yeah, there's just so it's worth the premium. I hate how the disc drive looks on the PS5, but that's a whole other.
I mean, it doesn't make it symmetrical, but I wasn't looking at my PS5 at the time.
Yeah, I get you.
Protruding out there a little bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, while we're on the topic of the PS5, Brandon, you and I I ended up buying one, but you tried to buy one.
I had no luck.
Let's talk about the experience of that. So the night before it came out, so I guess like midnight of the day it launched, I guess, right? I'm ready. I'm on every fucking website, right? Have my tabs open. And the first one that went up was the PlayStation Direct website, right? So the PlayStation has their own store. It's called PlayStation Direct.
And there's like a queue to get in.
And there's a queue to get in. And I'm in this fucking queue for an hour.
Yep.
No PS5 found. Great. Wonderful. Okay. It goes up on it goes up on Target. I get the console. I get it to check out, and then it keeps failing, and it keeps failing, and it keeps failing. And I'm like, and they did 3 waves in the middle of the night, Target, and I failed every one of them. Then I tried buying it the next morning. I stood up all night trying to like find like as soon as it would.
You tried Best Buy too.
So I tried Best Buy the next morning.
Yeah.
Add to cart. I can't even add it to my goddamn cart. And it's and it's this process where like these websites they kept crashing. They were going slow. It was just like, and you know. That in of itself is frustrating, but the fact that I was running on no sleep as well was just really added to my frustration.
Yeah.
Right? And then Walmart pre-announced that they're going to do it at this time, and this time. Right? 12 p.m., 3 p.m., 6 p.m., 9 p.m.
Yeah, which you think would be a good idea, but it was not.
Then it ended up being a terrible idea because the site was melting down.
Every time.
They were being snatched up within seconds.
Yep.
Right? And it was just like... I'm pretty sure bots were getting through a lot of them, to be honest.
They must have.
And so I finally ended up, I happened to be on the PlayStation Direct website right when they went up and right before Wario 64 tweeted it.
Yeah.
And so I was able to check out and I was like, oh my God. And PlayStation Plus members get free premium shipping. So
I saw that, which is really fucking cool.
I was like, and so I finally ended up getting one after I was up for like 30 hours. but I finally got a PlayStation 5, and I was so happy.
If only you didn't sell your fucking pre-order.
Yeah, I had a pre-order, and I sold it to an acquaintance. To be fair... Not even a friend. Not even a friend.
Yeah, you could have sold it to me,
I asked. I'm pretty sure I asked in the chat. I don't know if I did.
I don't think you did. It's fine. I don't really care that much. I'm gonna get one eventually. Yeah, so I did try to. I didn't stay up like you. I did go to bed. I figured, you know what? I know Walmart's doing the thing. Maybe I'll get lucky in the middle of the day, even with another website just randomly going live again. I did not. I did try all 4 times. Actually, no. I tried the first 3 times at Walmart. We were playing Among Us for the last time, so I didn't even try. I was like, give up at that point. I knew it was going to go the exact same way.
Yeah.
So I tried at noon. I tried at 3 p.m. I tried at 6 p.m. It went the same way every time. I just kept clicking and clicking. Eventually it would add to cart. And then I would try to check out, and it would say error, removed from cart, and there was it. It was no way. It wasn't happening. When you told me about going through PlayStation Direct, I did get into queue. Took me about 30 minutes or so by the time I finally got through, and when I did, it just said out of stock. So,
well, the thing is, so PlayStation Direct finally ended up being the best. Not even just because I ended up actually buying one from PlayStation Direct. But I feel like it was the best experience of them all because the queue, it actually told you, once they sold out, it told you in the queue, hey, they're sold out, right?
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
I just had it on, it told me it was going to be a sound effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it on in the background because I was just sitting on my computer anyway playing games. And it was like, it's going to make a sound effect once you're in. And I was like, okay, so I'll just wait for that.
And the thing is, the site, PlayStation Direct was the only site that wasn't crashing. Right?
Well, yeah, because they were smart about it.
They were smart about it.
And they put a queue. They put people on a fucking queue.
Yeah. And so, because all the other ones, what added to my frustration, I found, was the fact that I was able to get it to cart or I was able to get to checkout. Walmart was the special worst about that because I got all the way to checkout and each step was like a huge loading step in the way. But every time I was like, oh my God, I'm making more progress. That means I'm getting close, right? Only to end in fucking failure, right?
I got literally to the payment screen, process my payment, and it didn't even go through.
But with PlayStation Direct, the actual process of buying the thing was, once you got into the website, it was so smooth. It was so smooth. Yeah. And so it's so frustrating that none of these retailers still have figured out a proper way to deal with these hot items,
No, they haven't. It always happens. It always happens.
And I don't know what this... I think the queue actually worked out really well. The thing that sucks now, though, is that people figured out how to get around the queue, which completely defeats the purpose of the queue.
I saw people saying that. It was already in the queue from last time, and I just reloaded, and I would automatically put me through. And I was
apparently there's a trick to skipping the queue. Which, I don't, I get it, but then what happens is before it was it was a longer process, but people who were getting in were basically able to get it even though they had to wait, right? The first time. But what ended up happening now is that, today, was that because people can just skip the queue, they just sell out in an instant, all the rest. But I also feel like more people are getting it from PlayStation. More real people are getting it from PlayStation Direct rather than bots because they make you sign into your PlayStation account. Which I think is a good workaround, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I get that these are hot items and that they're selling out and the demand is just genuinely too high, right? But I have to imagine there's a better way to go about than fucking the way.
There has to be. There absolutely has to be. I'm not a fucking expert at controlling bandwidth and all that shit. But there's gotta be
a better way.
Especially with these multi-billion-dollar companies like fucking Walmart.
Come on. You tell me Walmart can't keep the servers up, Come on.
Well, here's to hoping. I'm sure I'll get one eventually.
I did. I was able to get one, though, so I'm looking forward to... I'm waiting for them to say it's shipped, but it should be here... by Monday at the latest, so
I would say keep your eye out for me, and then I'll pay you back. But I want to, just in case. But I want to buy it with a credit card, so don't do that.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
I want to get reward points, so I just and I.
That's the thing that sucked. I wish I got it off Amazon or Best Buy because I have credit cards for those, and I would have liked to get reward. Yeah. Whatever.
That's why I want to buy it with a credit card. So.
Okay. Well, that's that. There was another console that launched this week, though. 2 consoles. Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. Me and Brandon, we got Series X's. Brandon got his earlier today. I got mine yesterday. I want to talk about it a little bit. So, it kind of sucks because I think the servers are getting hammered, so download speeds are really slow on the Xbox. So it's been a while for me to actually be able to download games, right? But I was able to play Forza Horizon 4, and let me tell you, the biggest game change. Well, there's two big game changers. Number one, the OS is so snappy now. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Like So before, the Xbox operating system is notoriously very laggy, right? Very laggy, very slow, and they got better over time. And apparently, the newest update makes it better. But I really feel like with this SSD now, oh my god, it's so fast now. It's so snappy. It does everything in an instant, which I love. Right?
Mm-hmm. And with their last update, and it's like that this on Xbox One now, it's very streamlined and easier to use than it ever has been before on the OS.
Yeah, for sure. And so that in itself was a joy. But then the actual process of playing a game, man, you notice the difference playing games though with that SSD. It is a game changer. I feel. I think that it just. I was loading into things so fast. Changing cars took an instant. You know, it was just everything is so snappy. And we were talking about this last week, one of the features of the Xbox, the instant resume, right? So I was playing Forza for a little bit, and I decided to switch over to, I wanted to try out Tetris Effect, so I opened Tetris Effect, and then I go back to Forza, and what do you know? It's right where I left off, you know? And not only that, I plugged it out to move it somewhere else, plugged it back in. Once again, the games that I had up were just there, you know? And it was so mind-blowing. Like, the fact that I could plug out my console, plug it back in, and the game just resumes exactly where I was in an instant, you know?
That's just beautiful.
It's crazy. The future is here, you know?
I wonder how long that lasts. You think it's a time thing, or just
saves it to your cache?
Yeah, it saves it onto the solid state drive. So that's why it's able to do that. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
It's just that's
crazy.
I love that.
How many games can you have open at one time?
This is actually my biggest criticism. It doesn't give you actually a number. And so you can open, they say 3 to 4, right?
Yeah, I've heard that number about 3.
But then, so there's no clear idea when it'll shut out the oldest one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like they should make that clear, you know?
Yeah.
Like, hey, if you open this game has to close. Is that okay?
Yes.
And then you say,
or you could select from which game you want
to take out. Yeah. Just something.
Well, I'm sure you could go to that game and then
manually close it,
start button, and then close it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you have to keep track of it yourself.
Exactly. The fact that you have to keep track. And you could say, who has 3-4 games up at a time anyway? But that's the beauty of Game Pass, though, isn't it? Is that there's so many games to play, right? And then so the fact that I could play a game like Forza Horizon with my friends, right? And then I could go later into a single player game with Tetris Effect connected, right? And then swap back and forth at will, right? And then with Game Pass again, there's just so many games to play. I have so many games downloading, that it would just be nice.
What games do you have downloading?
So, oh man, so far, I've downloaded 20 games, or in the process of downloading 20 games. I'm gonna see more of my storage is at after that. That's another big thing, man. I wish these things had more storage. I'm feeling it already.
Especially on Xbox with Game Pass, and you have hundreds of games at your fingertips, and you just I want to install them all, but no, you can't.
No, you can't. And so
which games?
So I started downloading in particular. So the ones that are actually Series X optimized, I started downloading Forza. Obviously, I'm playing Forza Horizon. Downloaded Gears 5 because I want to play that. Downloaded Sea of Thieves. I don't remember what else.
So you want to play that with
me? And then I just want to see the pretty water.
You got to download those optimized for Series X games, which we were talking about this earlier, Fuzzy. which I think is hilarious. Because I was going through the games that were optimized for Series X on Game Pass. And there's like, I don't know, like 15, 20 of them. But one of them that just was like, of all the games, the Tourist is one of them. Like, what the fuck?
It runs at 6K 120 frames per second on the Xbox Series X.
That's insane.
To be fair, the Tourist is fucking gorgeous. So.
It's a very cool looking game. Yeah.
I played it earlier this year, and it's very good looking.
The
Crosscode is another one that I was like, huh? This is a little weird.
I also started downloading some backwards compatible games. I downloaded Sekiro. I went through that on my Xbox One X last year, and it got a patch recently, Game of the Year edition. And so they added some new stuff, and so I wanted to try that out. And because of the Xbox backwards compatibility, it runs better than ever. So now it runs at a stable 60 frames per second on console.
Yeah, that's so crazy that games like that aren't even purposely being optimized.
It's not optimized. It's a back compat
better.
game. It runs at and I tried it out for myself. It runs at a solid 60 frames per second. And so I tried out the loading is faster, right? It loads so much quicker. And man, playing that game, by the way, I still like the muscle memory immediately kicked in. And what's nice is they patched in a new boss rush mode. And I've really been enjoying that. Just being able to go back and play the bosses at will. And so what happens is it puts you in a state where, like, so if you use your consumables in that, it won't use it, it's not going to use it against you. Like, when you go back to it, your consumables will be back in your
yeah.
Not that I'm at a point where I don't even need those anymore, right? But, hey, it's still nice. But, oh man, Sekiro is such an incredible game. I could just go on and on about how much I adore that game.
I'm going to play it later this month.
Yeah. And hey, since you'll be playing it on, I assume, PS5?
No.
Xbox. Oh, well, you should. I'm not saying you should wait, but, it's much better on the Series X. Like, maybe. Maybe when you finally get a Series X, maybe that's when you should get it. When you should play it.
Maybe. Who could say?
Because no, really, man, having that locked 60 frames per second, it does make a difference.
Yeah.
I've never been like a person who cares about.
Fair enough.
But I don't know. I noticed some. I played a couple of games and man, it looks really. It just. I was like, wow. I gotta say that. My experience with turning it on to hooking it up to logging into your profile, I do like the whole set it up on your phone while it's updating kind of thing that they had you do, which was like nice because you're doing shit on your phone while it's updating. So, you're not like sitting around doing nothing. I like that. And then, log into your Xbox profile, thing updates, boom. Fucking everything is right there. I have my entire library, not on the console, but just at my fingertips to say, hey, I want to, download this, download that. And then I have a 2 terabyte external. I plugged it in. There we go. I got 2 terabytes of cold storage. All those Xbox One games I had. Now I can just move them back and forth freely. I can play the Xbox One games, on there without being, not having the upgrade of the solid state drive, but if I want that, I can just move them over. I can move them back. It's great. I'm really excited about that. I did download a few games, while I was doing all that as well. Downloaded Tetris Effect, and I will say that's the first game I played.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to play Tetris. This is the first game I'm going to play.
Why not?
On next gen console is Tetris. I played it for like an hour, and I was like, holy fuck! This might be my favorite game of 2020.
Wow.
Like at least outside of Nintendo.
Wow. What's funny about Tetris Effect Connected? Sorry, you can keep talking about it, but I just wanted to point out. I kind of wish it was on PS5 because it would totally make really good use of the DualSense.
Right.
Go on.
Well, wasn't it a PSVR?
It was a PSVR game. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like I was like, holy fuck, man! I was playing it, 4K, on my TV, and it just looked fucking beautiful. That game just looked amazing. And then I turned it on, and it was like plug in a headset, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna plug in my Turtle Beach headset, turn the boost on, turn on the bass and see what's going on. I was like, holy fuck, this is awesome. It just feels really good to play that game. Holy shit,
for sure. It's a really cool game. That's the funny thing though, is like I'm looking forward to my PS5 because I'm looking forward to playing games like Miles and Demons and Astro, right? But with Series X, it's mostly games I already had, right? But I'm still just mind blown because everything's just more playable, you know? Because it's so faster, absolutely. It runs better, et cetera, right? And so
that's the exciting thing with it. Like, you can tell it's exciting for the future because, you know, it's a big letdown, of course, that, you know, you look at the Series X and there are games that are coming out for it that are like, you know, you have Assassin's Creed, which is like a showpiece for it, or, you know, Call of Duty, I guess. But, like, you don't really have that, like, real showpiece. You don't have that Microsoft showpiece either because they had to delay Halo, which, you know, that's, I think, the biggest letdown for the Xbox Series X right now. But just looking at it as a piece of, piece of hardware, it's fucking awesome.
I instantly love it far more than the One X. And I liked the One X a lot, right?
Yeah. And I like the One X too, yeah. But this is just
like, it's just everything about it. It just... It makes the process of playing games better, and that's the most important thing at the end of the day, right? Like, you could...
Easier, smoother, yeah, everything.
Because you could say... Because, you know, one of the biggest leaps usually in a console generation is graphics, right? Graphics, right? And yeah, Forza Horizon 4 looks phenomenal on the Series X, right? Don't get me wrong, but it's the fact that it runs better, it's faster, it's those things that matter, and it feels like that's what they focused on, you know? And that's
and they did it. And then you have the being excited for the future of that console. Unfortunately, like I said, the launch didn't have that game, the hard hitter, that showpiece. You just have to, at this point, we have to look forward to the future and just say, you know, can't wait for the Halo to come out. Can't wait for that Fable game to come out. You know, when are they going to come out? Who fucking knows? Hopefully they got something because, we need it, honestly, because that'll be the real seller.
That'll be for sure. For sure.
Yeah, because right now it's weird. It's one of those things where, of course, the hardcores are going to buy it that either are integrated in Game Pass already and want to keep that going, or just, you know, of course, already just Xbox fanboys or whatever. But it's a hard sell, I think, on the casual. To why do I want it?
But then on the other hand, right, you mentioned Game Pass. To be fair, that is a big deal, and I think that's what we don't have the Series S.
It's true,
right? But I think that's the Series S where it really shines, right? That's a $300 machine. Yeah. It's a $300 Game Pass machine, right? And the things I mentioned, being able to go in and out of game and it running better and all that, those all apply to the Series S, right?
Yeah, that's also true. I mean, that's a good point. And if you have the people that are just, hey, I play Halo, hey, I play FIFA, or hey, I play Call of Duty every year. You know, I buy Madden in Call of Duty every year. Those are like the two games I buy, and that's all I play video games for. Like, yeah, Xbox is perfect for that. You know, so is PlayStation 5. Either way, you can't really go wrong. You know, so and with the S, at least, you know, that's like a very easy entry into these new next gen, you know, kind of situations.
For sure.
It's a good selling point. And then, yeah, of course, we've mentioned it enough on this podcast, but we can't overstate, you know, how much of a deal Game Pass is. So
I really like, sorry, this is a bit of a swerve, but I really like how the Series X looks in person.
I mean, it's an Xbox. It's literally
I don't know. It looks
symmetrical.
It's symmetrical. I don't know. I really like how it looks. I think it looks good. I think it's a good looking system. I think, like, with the real lighting, the matte black really looks good. I don't know. I'm a fan of the aesthetics of this console. Obviously, the thing that matters.
I like. Yeah, true. I like the top of it. I like the big old.
It's also it's smaller than I thought it would be. Maybe the PS5 has just thrown off my entire scale of things. But
it's ridiculous.
But the Series X looks smaller than I thought it would be.
I will say the Series X looks better standing up than it does sitting sideways. I think it looks like a I don't know, like it looks bad.
I don't like how it looks on its side, but I have it standing up. So
I have it standing up too. What I did was I have. This is a random thing to talk about, but I have my entertainment console, and I had, like, you know, just two shelves, right? I had a bottom shelf and a middle and a top shelf, and then and then the next shelf, and then like the top where my TV is. And I had my PlayStation 4, and then underneath that my Xbox One or my Xbox One X, and I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to. I can probably fit the Series X down there, but it's gonna like sitting sideways. It's gonna be like almost to the top of this shelf, and the PlayStation 5 cannot sit sideways in there. There's no way it's gonna fit. So what I had to do as a solution was I took both of my old consoles out. Fuck them. I'm not gonna need them anymore. Unhooked them both, wrapped them up. They're going to go for sale. I'm getting rid of them. And I took the shelf right out. And I just stood the Xbox up. The PlayStation's going to stand up right next to it. It's going to look ridiculous. Just this big open middle of the entertainment system with no shelf with two big-ass consoles sitting there. But it's the only solution I had.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because both of them are very unconventional, right, in terms of shape.
Yeah.
And so...
Mm-hmm.
Well, definitely the PS5 more than that.
Yeah. I mean, PS5 is just even more so, but yeah. But yeah, all right. Well, that's our kind of next gen impressions.
Well, the one other thing
go ahead.
is that I learned my play times for some of my older games when I put on the PS5.
Oh,
because you can check your old games when you look at your profile, or whatever. So I learned that I played Mass Effect Andromeda for 88 hours, and I'm like, how?
88 hours in Mass Effect Andromeda, huh?
Wow.
This was like 2 years ago, and apparently they still have that information.
I'm surprised. I didn't know that applied for older games too. Wow.
It does, yeah.
Wow. I read that.
It goes all the way back. Like, apparently I played 78 hours of Bloodborne, and that was the first PS4 game I had. It's pretty crazy.
Does it count PS3 games?
Oh, no. I don't think so.
Does it count Vita games?
Okay.
Well, I don't think I had.
You would have to see a game that's on because I guess with PlayStation Now you could check PS3 games theoretically, but yeah, but yeah, I didn't. Wow, the fact that they have that information is, and now you can see.
I have a very important question for you, Ilse.
Mm.
Are you going to leave that public? Can we see that when we get a PS5?
No, it's already private.
Amazing!
God damn it!
Amazing.
They have a setting like while you're setting up the console. It's like I forget what it's called, but it's basically everything shut off. And I
fucking hate you. I hate you so much. I hope you know this.
That's okay. Lots of people hate me.
God damn it.
Well,
I would love to look at it.
Yeah, I just want to know. Why can't you just share your playtimes with us?
Share your whole life with me. That's all I want.
No, I don't care about your life. I just care about your playtimes. That's all I want. Your playtimes.
Well, his video games are his life. So that's...
Wow. Okay.
Damn. Okay.
It's all of our lives.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Well,
sad.
That wraps up our next gen talk. I mean, we all have the consoles, so now, of course, and Brandon will have PS5 eventually. Will got a PS5 as well. So when games start rolling in, I'm sure we'll talk about them. I'm sure we're just at the beginning of a new generation, so.
I don't know when I'm going to get an Xbox, but maybe next year.
Fair enough.
I'm going to wait.
Exciting times ahead. Exciting times ahead.
Yeah, so that's that. Now, of course, we got to do what we always do with the list.
The list!
So, if you don't know what the list is, basically every week we add a game and we rank it against every other game that we've added previously. So it's not a best of all time list, but we just keep adding to this ever-growing list and rank it against each other. So far, the list has how many games? A lot.
225?
Oh, Jesus Christ. And last week we added Marvel Spider-Man. Marvel Spider-Man got to number 44 on the list. This week it's Brandon's turn. Brandon, what would you like to add?
Yeah. What's up? Here's the thing that's available on the PlayStation 5. That I was like, why has anybody bought one of these? And what's really the point, right? There's a PlayStation 5 camera, and like, why the fuck? who needs that?
It also appears in Astro's Playroom.
Oh well. PlayStation seems to love their cameras. There was a PS2, there was an iToy, there's PS3, PS4, and now there's a PS5 camera.
All of those appear in Astro's Playroom.
There we go. Important history. But who was the first manufacturer to make a camera for their consoles? Well, this isn't even on a console, and I just want to talk about this. I don't know if either of you guys have played this, but I'm just going to go for it anyway. The Game Boy camera Have either of you guys played the Game Boy?
Unfortunately, not.
God damn it! God damn it.
No.
I really wanted to rank the Game Boy camera. I think it would be a very interesting talk. But
is that a game?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, technically it is. It is a game. The Game Boy camera is a game. There is games within the Game Boy camera. It is more of a peripheral, but you plug it into your Game Boy, and it really is a game.
That would have been fun to talk about.
It's a game cartridge.
Sadly,
yeah.
He doesn't know about it.
Sadly, you guys are not real Nintendo fans.
If only Will was here.
The Game Boy camera. But so I guess we'll talk about another Nintendo game instead. So let's just do Ills a favor and take from his list here. Muzzy, have you played Wild Guns?
No.
Okay, that's sad. Ills, have you played Mario Kart DS?
Yes, but I remember almost nothing of it.
Okay, how about Duck Hunt?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Duck Hunt.
Let's talk about Duck Hunt.
Peripherals, baby. The Zapper.
The Zapper.
Duck Hunt. I mean, who the fuck doesn't know Duck Hunt? You know what I'm saying?
It came with the NES, right?
Came with the NES. Came with the Zapper, the famous NES Zapper combo that came with a cartridge that had Duck Hunt and Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
There is millions of these cartridges all around the world.
Yes.
It's probably the most common fucking NES game you can come across.
For sure.
But it's probably the most iconic. It's like the Wii Sports, of the NES, of course. Or the Wii Sports, I guess, is Duck Hunt Mario.
Yeah, it's more Mario than Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
But Duck Hunt was on the same goddamn cartridge, okay?
Yeah, there is standalone Mario and there is standalone Duck Hunt. Those do exist, but it's more common to find the combo pack. But yeah, Duck Hunt was it was basically the showpiece for the Nintendo Zapper, which was a light gun that you had to use you had to use it on a CRTV. You can't use it on a flat screen nowadays.
No, you can't.
So they're basically all useless now.
You can play it on the Wii though.
You can play on the Wii U with the Wii remote.
The Wii U virtual console.
The Wii U with a Wii remote.
Yeah.
It's on the virtual console, which is really cool. Why wasn't it on a Wii? Come on, Nintendo. But whatever. But you could play it on the Wii U. Then for the 4 people that had that console. And yeah, Duck Hunt. I mean, what is there to say about Duck Hunt?
You shoot ducks.
You shoot ducks. That's really all it is.
That's all you do. You shoot ducks.
Duck Hunt dogs in fucking Super
Smash Brothers, yeah.
So that just goes to show you that Duck Hunt was a big deal.
Yes.
It's a very popular game. People, a lot of people, it was one of their first NES games. Maybe for some people, it's one of their first video games they ever played. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's also a mode where you shoot clay things. Right?
There's a clay shoot mode. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not as popular.
So Duck Hunt sold 28.31 million units, by the way.
Insane.
Makes it one of the best-selling games of all time.
Of all time. It's very simple but very fun. It's literally all it is a couple ducks come up on the screen. You have a couple of bullets. You shoot at them. Either you shoot them all, or the dog laughs at you and they fly away.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of repetition of the patterns of the ducks, though.
Yes.
I mean, it is a very old game.
It's a very old game. It's a very game. There's not much to it, quite frankly. Right?
No, there is.
It's fun. I'll say that much.
As the difficulty progresses, it becomes impossible.
Yes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But it is fun. It's just a fun game that you can plug in and play.
It's kind of a score attack game in a way, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the game. Obviously, it's not anywhere near one of the best games of all time. It's probably not even one of the it's all right. It's firmly all right. Where does that go, though?
Yeah, it's a hard one to rank. Because, again, I mean, it is, for its time, yeah, it's good. It's good because it's fun. And at the time...
There's something cool about, you're holding a physical gun, right?
Yeah, that was cool at the time. Yeah. Especially if you're a kid, Yeah. You feel cool. I'm shooting at screens, Yeah. It's back in the 80s and 90s, all the action movies made it seem that guns were very cool.
So I'm looking at
still do.
I'm looking at 2 other pack-ins on the list: Nintendo Land and 1-2 Switch, and there's quite a bit of variance in there. But it definitely, I would say, in between the two. I would say
better than 1-2 Switch.
I think it's better than 1-2 Switch.
How do you feel about Zelda 2?
I mean, it doesn't have the frustrations that Zelda 2 has.
But also Zelda 2 has a lot more going on.
It does.
Right.
It does. Zelda 2 does have a lot more going on, but Zelda 2 pisses me off.
I would put it below Zelda 2, personally.
I would too.
Okay.
I like, it's a very simple game. Like, what you see is what you get. There's only so much enjoyment that I got from it. Like, I played it for maybe 30 minutes, and I was like, I've seen enough.
Yeah, I didn't play the games below the 2 games in between there.
I'd put it above them.
Ilse?
Sure. I mean, I have no preference either way. It's fine.
Okay. All right. That sounds good to me then.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that. So this puts it at number 200.
Number 200.
Nice even number right there.
Yeah. So surrounding Duck Hunt, we got Jet Force Gemini 198, Zelda 2, Duck Hunt, First Samurai, and Jackie Chan Stuntmaster.
Jet Force Gemini being the latest Game Club episode.
Yeah, so check that out.
True.
Check that out. Anyway, Brandon, you want to do the plugs?
And yeah, man, why not?
Ills, you could take us out?
If you like.
Okay, go for it.
Well, hello, everybody. Thank you if you listened to all the way to this point. We really appreciate that. And if you enjoyed the Jump Up Supercast, just make sure, if you want to check us out, listen to us talk about other stuff, whether it's, weekly video game news, our impressions on games, whatever. Make sure you check us out every Monday when new episodes go up for the Jump Up Supercast. And then every other Thursday, we have the Jump Up Supercast Game Club that goes up, and we play a different game every 2 weeks. We just recently played, like Ilse just mentioned, Jet Force Gemini. That was a Patreon pick, by the way. We'll get back to that in a second. But right now we're playing a game called Deep Fear. It's a Sega Saturn game that only came out in Japan and Europe because it's a super late Sega Saturn game, developed and published by Sega. And they just said it's kind of like a Resident Evil clone. I guess Sega was trying to cash in on that, and they probably said this game's not going to sell because the Sega Saturn sucks dick. So they didn't release it in America. So, but we're going to play it and see if it's any good. And we'll let you know. If you want to find out, you got to listen. So you can listen to us on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube. New episodes, like I said, go up every Monday, and then the Game Club every other Thursday. So please check us out and give us a follow, give us a like, give us a share. Let us know. If you got a PS5, you got an Xbox Series X, let us know what you thought about them. Tell us in the comments. Tell us what you think. Did we do Duck Hunt dirty? Where would you put Duck Hunt on the list? Let us know. And like I mentioned, we do have a Patreon. If you want to give us some support, just for $1 a month. $1 a month. It's super cheap. That's only $12 a year. You get to join. We got a bunch of things that you can do for supporting us, including joining our Discord server, where you can just talk to us about video games. You can listen to the episodes live, and we have a recording room, so you can just jump in and listen. Listen to all of our fuck ups and mistakes that we make while we're trying to record. And you can also pick a Game Club game once around. So Jet Force Gemini was picked by one of our Patreon supporters, and if you got a game that you want us to play, if you're a Patreon supporter, then we'll put your name in the raffle. Tell us what game you want to play. We'll put it in there, and maybe your game will get picked. We also, you can follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Stay up to date, everything Jump Up Supercast related. I post when the episodes go up on Twitter and Facebook. So make sure you give us a follow so you don't miss out on anything. And if you want to catch us streaming video games, we have a Twitch, twitch.tv/Jump Up Supercast. We are affiliates now, so if you want to follow, subscribe, give us a sub or whatever, and just hang out, come, chill, talk. We play video games. Mario Sunshine, Muzzy's been playing. He's going to be playing a bunch of Mario games. Maybe we'll be streaming some next gen stuff. Who knows? We're getting the consoles, So if you want to check that out, make sure you give us a follow. Twitch.tv/Jump Up Supercast. And as always, thank you guys so much for listening. Go out, play some video games, be nice to each other, and Ilse, take us away.
Muzzy said the word Q a lot this episode. It's just something to think about.